Okay, I'd like to start this video with a brief introduction. I'm Goku, also known as Anthony. I've been gaming for about 8 to 9 years. I've attended about 7 events total competitively, and I've spectated in another 2, so 9 total. And I'm here today to start making new videos because I believe we need some positive leaders in the Halo community. And don't take this as arrogance or as me thinking I'm better than anyone, because it isn't. This is me just wanting to be a vocal leader. And I'm sorry if I'm not your favorite person, or if you've known me in the past and had a bad experience. I deeply apologize from the bottom of my heart. Growing up in the Halo community, I had a lot of bad situations with players where I let my frustration and emotions take over the situation. And all I can do is sit here and admit my faults and apologize. So that's what I do. And I'm here to make it better. Now, you can either sit there and be stubborn and hold your nose in the air and turn your back to me and decide that you don't like me and decide that you want nothing to do with me. And you have all right, because that's your freedom as a person and as a player. But for those of you that, want to have a good time, want to bring a positive vibe back to Halo, and want to get to know me, I'm there for you. I'm online unless I'm working. I work 4 days a week, 8 hours. Besides that, I'm on every other day. I work graveyard shifts, so you'll see me online during the day. But this video here is not about me. It's about you. It's about the community. It's about everybody. I make these videos not because I want any kind of recognition, but because I want the Halo community I grew up playing. I grew up playing Halo 2, Halo 3, and when I was playing growing up, it was never about sponsors or Twitter or social networking or getting your name out there. It was about finding 3 people that you really get along with and creating a team based on chemistry. And every now and then, a great player would rise out of one of those teams and be a great main slayer, or however you'd like to describe it. But at the end of the day, it wasn't this. So, I feel like Halo's taken a bad turn somewhere along the way. I don't know if it was during Halo 3 or during Halo Reach or where really. People can point fingers and blame others and try to pinpoint key situations, but honestly, I think it was everybody as a whole, the attitude. I think that a lot of Halo players let arrogance and their egos take over their best judgment. There was times when Halo was considered to be amongst sports. It was going to be what led the way for esports. It was going to be broadcasted by ESPN, USA, and a lot of these bigger networks. But if you realize what the difference between then and now is, it's the attitudes. Go look at a player from League of Legends, or go look at a player from StarCraft. Look at a player from one of the premier games, and look at the way they carry themselves, opposed to the people that carry themselves in Halo. Look at the best players in Halo and put them next to each other, and you tell yourself, who would you really want to advertise your brand, or who would you really want representing you? The kid with the best sniper in the world who makes everybody feel like crap, or a kid that could strategically run a whole team on League and help support his brand and make other players want to play the game. And that's what you really got to look at. There has to be a point when Halo players take responsibility for their actions. At the end of the day, we're just gamers. We're just people, and somewhere I feel like we lost that. Somewhere along the way of sponsors like Dr. Pepper, Nas, a lot of these bigger sponsors, I feel like players inflated their egos and forgot what this is really about. And, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a kid that's just rambling on, that doesn't know what he's talking about. But honestly, I feel like deep in my heart that there's more kids out there like me than there is kids that, want to walk around with an attitude. I feel like the Halo community is changing. I feel like it's going through a cocoon stage, and look at a caterpillar when it's in a cocoon, and it looks like a piece of shit. But if you look at it a few weeks later and you see what it evolves into, it's a butterfly. And that might be a little bit of corny of an analogy, but I believe that's what's going on with Halo. We're going through a cocoon phase, To others, we might look like shit right now, but to true Halo players, we know in the end we're going to be bigger and better than we ever were. Let's not look at this as a step backwards. Let's look at this as time to really project where we want to go in the future. We've lived in MLG shadow and a lot of esports shadow along the entire way. What's to say that Halo can't stand on its own 2 feet? What's to say with help of leagues like AGL, CGA, PGL, and a lot of these upcoming leagues, we can be bigger and better than we ever were? I'm not a person to look at the glass half empty. I'm not gonna lie, growing up I grew up very rough, and throughout my life I was always angry and upset, and I always thought that most of the world owed me something because of the way I got done, but at the end of the day, that's just the cards I was dealt. And when I was finally able to accept that, that's when I feel like I was finally able to move forward as a person and as a Halo player. And I feel like I'm finally ready to be a vocal and verbal and mental leader that people need. Maybe you reject me, maybe you say that you want nothing to do with me, and that's your choice. And I respect that. I might not always agree or I might not always understand, but I respect that, and that's what matters, respect. I believe when we learn to respect each other on an equal basis and understand, where everyone is coming from, we can have a lot better community. I think before we sit there and try to build Halo back up and try to tell people that, oh, Halo's back, Halo 4, let's get this game going, I think we need to break down the walls of the past and figure out what the problem was. Dissect what the real problem was, being the attitudes, and not even just the attitude, but the way we carry ourselves. What makes us so much better than Call of Duty kids or Gears of War kids or anything like that? They love their game just as much as we do. Because we were getting bigger cash prizes, we thought we were better. Well, that's to say because League of Legends or StarCraft is getting bigger cash prizes than us now that they're better. And I don't think money or reputation or fame defines the skill of a game. I think every game has its own genre and its own feel and should be respected in its own way. And, I'm sorry that if you don't agree with me or you feel like I'm stating the obvious, but I feel like these are things that we all need to become aware of, and we all need to help teach the younger generation. Me being 21, turning 22 in a few days, I feel like almost obligated, part of my responsibility to reach out to younger gamers and show them, that you don't have to be a shit talker. You don't have to be the kid that fucking, has a big old attitude or has to make everybody stare at you and have all the attention focused on you to get sponsors. It doesn't have to be like that, You can be a humble, chill dude, and you can respect others and still be sponsored and still be a competitive gamer. Being competitive doesn't mean you're an asshole. It just means you play to win. And even if you don't win, it's not the end of the world. Understanding that the true success or the true victory comes in competing against your fellow competitors, not winning the game at all. The moment that you take that away from your fellow competitors, you no longer win, even if you win the game, because you are diminishing what Halo stands for. You are bringing down the quality and standard of the game. You're lowering your honor for a small victory in a giant war. And, my heart goes out to all of you that don't understand where I'm coming from. And to those of you that do understand where I'm coming from, I'm here for you, This is the time to unite and bring gamers together and have a great time and realize that this is a new generation with technology. And we have advantages that we didn't have growing up with Halo 2 and Halo 3. We can broadcast ourselves and bring Halo to a new level. We could be teaching kids how to play the game right. The reason that these commentaries and a lot of these walkthrough videos don't make it that big is because you have players doing them that have bad attitudes. It's like you're not going to sit there and have a player on camera talking shit to the rest of the community and telling them how much better he is, and then have him do a walkthrough and think anybody's going to want to watch that. I mean, true that he probably knows something that the other players don't know. Obviously, that's why he's killing them. Obviously, that's why he's doing better. But by the way he presents himself, who wants to watch an arrogant kid talk about himself and how he plays Halo? Because I know I don't. So, I mean, maybe we're different in that sense. Maybe, you're going to watch the cocky kid play Halo because you want to get better. But me personally, I have more pride than that. I carry myself to a certain standard and a certain moral. So I believe my morals and my standards and my pride are what make me me. And, some people are different. They don't really need to feel like they have to hold themselves to this. Some people are out there willing to do whatever it takes to meet success. But understand the standard of what is considered successful in Halo right now isn't considered successful to the past Halo. You understand that top 12 in AGL is about equivalent to top 40 in MLG. Understand that winning an AGL, honestly, is top 8 in MLG. Because at the end of the day, not the best players are competing anymore. You have a lot of kids that have walked away from the game because of the attitudes and the way the game has presented itself. When you have people like 343 Studios and AGL and PGL and all these different leagues accepting shit talking, that's the problem. And don't think that I'm bad mouthing any of these companies, because I love all of them. If it wasn't for them, Halo would be even worse off. It's because of them that there is still a spark and there's a light in Halo's eye. It's because of them that we still have an opportunity to turn this all around. So don't think I'm belittling any of these companies. They're all great, and they should all be appreciated by the whole entire Halo community. I just think that at the end of the day, if we were to set rules and standards for ourselves about not letting players talk shit, not letting players bring Halo down even further, we can finally make steps forward. If you're not understanding, for every step forward we take with these leagues, we take 2 steps backwards with all the sponsors we're losing, then, maybe I'm the only one that notices that. Maybe I'm the only one that realizes the biggest sponsors we had, going into the situation have no longer backed us. Dr. Pepper is one of the few companies I can say has stood by Halo the entire time, and that's why we owe them our loyalty. But at the end of the day, if we're not here to have a good time and at the same time promote positive gaming, what are you really here for? You gotta ask yourself, what are you here for? Because I know what I'm here for. I grew up in a broken family. I have my only parent passed away of cancer a few years ago. So personally, in my mind, the Halo community is my family. Whether they care about me or not, whether they like me or not, I'm here for them. I'm here to make things better. I look to be the silent moral leader. Obviously I'm sitting here talking, so I'm not completely silent, but I'm not going to sit here and harp people and try to preach or none of that. I'm not here to fucking forcefully tell you to do things my way, because that's not the right way to go about situations like this. I'm here to lead by example. So if you catch me online, catch me at events, I'll be doing the most I can to help people. I do charity work on a weekly basis. I will be releasing charity videos in the upcoming weeks. You will start seeing a few videos of me and a few other teammates giving our time, to involve ourselves with homeless shelters and donate plasma and blood and do whatever we can to improve our community. Because when Halo players can learn to be part of the community itself, they can be bigger than, just esports or MLG or any of the kind of concepts that we look at right now. I look to let Halo players be their own individual, entity. Halo players should be doing their own thing on their own terms. We should be out there improving the industry, improving the community, improving the world. Halo is our hobby and it's our trade, but it doesn't define us. You define yourself based off your personality and who you decide to be as a person. You could be the greatest Halo player in the world, but if you decide to be a douche, at the end of the day, you're just a douche. And, a lot of people might think that's funny and kind of laugh at it and snicker, but at the end of the day, this is real stuff. You got to really think about it. When you make the mental decision to be a good person, it doesn't matter if you're a Halo player or not. You remain a good person. Halo shouldn't change that about you, because I know it's not going to change it about me. So, I'd just like to thank you for taking time and watching this video. This is my first video for my new video blog, introduction to, what everything that I'm getting into. I will, on a smaller note that, I'm really not getting into in this video, and I will probably talk about a bit more about on my next video. I will be the captain of Good Times. Good Times is a team founded in Idaho. The manager is a guy named Teddy Hersick. You can contact him through me. I can give you a number or any of his Twitter, any of his contact information. He's pretty much a really older and great dude that helped me get my life straight and is doing everything he can to bring positive vibes to Halo. He will be my manager and my mentor for as long as he wants to be, and we will be finding other quality members to be part of this team. And, I'm running games with a few different kids right now that feel very promising, but I don't want to put too much stock in one player, because I think anybody could be good at Halo. It's just about your approach to the game and how you carry yourself. So yeah, that's my final word on it. If you want to follow me or support me, my Twitter is Goku Rises, all one word, GOKURISES. Goku Rises. That's also my gamer tag, and you'll see a lot of different things involving Goku Rises, because this year I'm going to be representing the name Goku Rises as my rise to the top. A lot of you may not believe that I will be there, but I don't need anybody's kind words or belief in me, because I have faith in myself. And with overwhelming faith in myself and positive energy, I can make anything possible. And I hope you feel the same within yourself. I hope that you have enough confidence and faith in yourself to understand with positive energy you can make anything possible. So thank you, and don't ever forget in believing in yourself.